So Steve, we see a solar panel in the middle of a soybean field. This is a picture that's becoming, I guess, more and more common. What are you doing with this solar panel?
We saw the opportunity when the microfit program in Ontario was announced last fall to become a major player in the green revolution that's happened in Ontario here. It was a real focus that our provincial government at the time, rightfully or wrongfully, decided to focus on. We looked at the numbers coming out of what they'd announced and decided that as a business decision it was somewhat of a no-brainer, so we were pretty early adopters of jumping on that bandwagon.
Okay, so what is this panel powering?
Right now we've got it set up to go strictly into the electrical grid. We're not using it to offset physically any of the power that we're using to run our fans, or aeration fans, or our lights, or that sort of thing. It's just strictly, to keep it simple, set up as an investment.
Okay, but I guess, do you see putting more solar panels on your farm to maybe power things like your shop or your office or your house?
The way I look at it, with the way the system has been structured here in Southern Ontario, I'm buying power in the neighborhood of 7.5 cents per kilowatt hour, and on this solar panel, because we got in before the recent changes, we're being paid 80.2 cents. I have a hard time justifying subsidizing or offsetting the physical power for some of our applications with higher priced value. I'd rather just sell it into the grid and use the dollars to offset what we're buying power for.
Okay, we're hearing lots in the news about some of the changes that have been made in Ontario in terms of the price being paid to farmers on the grid. Why has it been so controversial?
I think the biggest challenge was the original program was announced at 80.2 cents per kilowatt hour, and that's what we signed up for last November and were approved in January with. And all of a sudden on July the 2nd, newsletters or a news release came out right before the Canada Day weekend, which was a little sly on the part of decision makers, to drop it to 50.8 cents per kilowatt hour, which drastically changed the ground rules, especially when they'd announced that the original review was not going to happen until 2011.
So they dropped it from 84 cents to in the 50s? 80.2
cents to 50.8 cents.
That's a dramatic, so a lot of guys had made an investment based on that 80 cents.
I think so, and you know, I guess you could question the business decision of participants to put their money down before they had a contract in place when everything seemed fairly lucrative, if that's the word, or fairly sound, especially when there's a government involved. But fortunate enough, we were early enough that we beat any changes. Now, subsequent to that, the government has relented provincially and announced they will be honoring all the applications that were sent in up until July the 2nd. But my understanding is at a somewhat lower rate, 64 cents and change.
Okay, so do you think that this kind of program is going to increase more and more? Are farmers, I guess in general, from the farmers that you hang out with and talk to, is there a lot of interest in solar energy?
I think the interest is there, but the bottom line is it's a business decision, it's an economic decision. Obviously some people will have it as an emotional or a lifestyle decision, but I look at it as strictly a business decision. I think there should be interest out there by producers. I think even at 64.2 cents, it makes sense to put up a 9.6 or 10 kilowatt panel like we have behind us here. The economics are there because it has a 20-year lifetime on the contract, although the rewards will be ongoing further past that.